Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to the video, welcome to the show, welcome to another mukbang. It is currently 5 a.m. We're about to eat this quickly because I have to be like done at 5:20. And when I'm done at 5:20, I'll be able to do I decided not to do like a TikTok live so early, so I'm gonna do them a bit later on, right? When I finish posting my shit, because I'm gonna post some shit instead. And when I'm gonna do this, when I'm gonna be finished with this, which is posting, what I'm gonna do is super simple. We're gonna be taking care of business, and taking care of business means TikTok live. I have a couple of videos to film, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be absolutely fun because I got a lot of things to film. Like I have to. First of all, did I say don't blink? It's your boy Ink. Hope that you're doing well. I don't even know, dude. Lately, I've been so fucking busy, but hey, it's all good. So yeah, so the plan is to do this mukbang. I'm gonna switch to filming nature corner with this phone, and with the other phone, we're gonna be posting on TikTok and YouTube, right? Hopefully, after 1 hour, a lot of them are done. Because a lot of them are done, I'll be able to do a TikTok live. Because again, we're needing space on it. And once I did that, I'm gonna be able to film again a couple of videos, and then I'm gonna be able to stream. Today is the last day for Fortnite, so I have to stream Fortnite today. And I have to finish everything that I need to do. We're pretty much done, but anywho, we're doing well. Again, we're gonna be eating mom lasagna today. For the subject of the mukbang, I kind of want to go over what we talked about yesterday, which was charisma. Oh yeah. Oh, amazing. Oh, we have water. I'm so lucky because it's had this warm as fuck, guys. Again, with some amazing heat. 28 degrees for 21. Yeah, so charisma. I think we talked about what it was, but how is important? Charisma. Charisma is very important because, for example, you meet per day. You meet, I don't know. On a good day, you meet 15 people, right? And like, well, I'd like to at least have half of those positive interaction, right? How do you maximize that? It's so good. I fucking love this. Honestly. Honestly, charisma is the answer. So when you think about it, all that matters is you. Let me explain. You have a conversation between two people, right? You get that conversation. Mama. And honestly, it's so good. But you realize that you can only control yourself. If you want the conversation to go take a direction, you have to do it you. If you're not comfortable with the subject, you have to tell them. You can control them. You can influence them, but that won't work all the time. So you have to be the moving piece of this conversation. How do you do that? Charisma. Whenever you have a conversation, right? There's sometimes you're gonna have a conversation and you're gonna be like, your immediate thoughts gonna be, that didn't go as planned, right? Because you're saying that didn't go as planned, I mean that there's a way that could have went better. Now, how do you do that? How do you make it better? Again, it's up to you. See, charisma is only a way to facilitate your interaction. And I could argue the fact that first impression is important. I could argue the fact that socially speaking is super important because you're in charge of every single thing in your life. I have a bill, I have to pay it, right? I'm happy because I've made myself happy. I'm eating lasagna. I chose to eat lasagna. See, it's not a question of how well is my day going. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I pushing this narrative? Why am I pushing this on you guys? It's super simple. Realizing that I can take care of everything but my conversation if I was able to have better conversation, if I was able to make a better my interaction seemingly more positive, I would do it. Like you can like it's the same example as immortality. You know that you cannot make yourself immortal. You know that there's a lifespan to your life. Everybody has a lifespan to your life. See? And it's nuts. It's not because you think about it and like, well, I'm gonna be immortal. I'm gonna make sure that most of my moments of life are as fun as possible. If I live 50 years, I'm gonna make sure that 40 years or 55 years are nice or positive. Charisma is the way. Now, charisma is not without flaws. Charisma is about selling, about being approachable, being charismatic. Then if it equates to you not being you, then is it worth it? Because in a perfect world, you have to be. In a perfect world, you have to be the only person that matters when it comes to taking care of you, and that's you. Sadly, like you're gonna think, oh, my friends are gonna take care of me, my parents are gonna take care of you. In most cases, yes, but the most person that's gonna take the absolute most care of you is yourself. Now, if you feel like being charismatic isn't you, if you feel like being charismatic isn't being genuine, then you cannot expect people to be genuine with you. For example, let's think about the fact that I use charisma in a conversation. Now I'm having another conversation, and this person is using charisma with me, and I'm like, is this really them, or are they just trying to sell something? See, you have to be the best version of you can be, but you still have to maintain being you. You still have to meet, like for example, if I'm selling a book, I'm not gonna try to sell you a TV. You're trying to sell yourself, but by selling yourself, you have to put yourself first. You have to put your pros. You have to put sometimes your cons to seem approachable, to seem like I'm me, right? And by selling yourself, you're able to do that. But you have to understand what is selling yourself and what is bullshitting others. And that is the trap that I fell in. I didn't understand I was bullshitting others. I thought I was being charismatic. I thought I was selling myself, but I was just being full of shit. And ultimately, right? It doesn't matter if you're full of shit. Now, I know this is kind of crazy saying this, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, people are either going to understand it or you're going to realize that what you did is not okay and you're going to try to rectify it, right? That is a factor of life. Now, where do you have to make an effort is, again, it's not because you're, it's funny. I just told you that being charismatic is making sure that your conversation is positive. But a conversation that is positive for you shouldn't be uncomfortable for somebody else. A conversation that is comfortable for you shouldn't be putting someone else down. A conversation that is putting you at ease should put the other person at ease. Because again, it's a dialogue, it's not a monologue. So when you're being charismatic, you have to think about others. You have to think about what you're doing. I fell into a trap of really going far. And I was manipulating people, and I was lying to people, and I was taking care of everything. I was being in charge of every single conversation that I had, and it didn't feel real. And I was like, dude, why aren't they answering me? Why aren't they texting me? And the reason is you only need one bullshitter to realize that you're bullshitting, then everybody's gonna know. See, charisma is a very dangerous thing. Charisma is a very risky thing. In a perfect way, thanks to your experience, thanks to your life experience, thanks to your life trajectory, thanks to your personality, not the personality that you created to be more charismatic. Your personality is charismatic. Now, what can I give you for advice? I'm gonna be ending on that because I have to film the nature corn, right? Sorry for the short stream, but the best example is you're gonna look in your friend group, you're gonna look in the people that are next to you, that are close to you, that are in your everyday life, and you're gonna understand, why am I feeling comfortable talking to them? Why am I comfortable having a conversation with them? Why am I comfortable being around them? What does it make them so charismatic? You're gonna take a picture. You're gonna take a picture, a mental picture of that. You're gonna be analyzing their acts, because again, it's about understanding. Most of your manner of speech come from your parents. Most of your manner of speech are coming from the show that you're watching. Most manner of speech that you're having are coming from the influences, the exterior influences, the social influences that you have. Now, you have a choice. You have the huge choice to actually be in charge of, guess what? I'm loving this conversation. I'm loving this person. I'm in charge of making sure that I assimilate or I learn from this conversation. Now, not every single conversation should teach you something, but some should. See, if you're having the luck in your life to be friend with somebody that's charismatic, if you have a chance to be with someone or around someone that is putting people at ease, that has natural leadership, latch on to them, learn from them, not without copying, but with assimilating what they're saying. Understand what makes them the way they are, and then applying it to yourself. Because chances are, and I'm gonna be completely fucking honest here, this is the most important part of this video. If you are friends with them, if you like them as a person, chances are they're being good people, right? You're not friends with a lot of people that are super shitty, and if you understand that somebody's shitty, you're not gonna be wanting to take inspiration from them, because you don't want to be a shitty person yourself. So chances are that people in your life that you're keeping them around have mastered the art of charisma, have mastered being charismatic without having to read a book. It's just natural to them. You want something that's natural for them. You're gonna ask somebody who, if you want to play basketball, you're gonna ask somebody that's playing basketball. If you want to have a math question, you're gonna be asking somebody that's good in math. See, we all have intelligence. So, for example, some people are going to be intelligent with a subject. Other people are going to be intelligent with another subject. Where nobody has the perfect what should I call it, intelligence, where they understand everything and every single thing, but they have this field of mastery. For example, you're going to take somebody, right, that is a fan of Star Wars, and you understand everything about Star Wars. When you have a Star Wars question, you're going to think about them and you're going to ask them. Well, can't find the same thing. Leadership is the same thing. You have to look and you have to analyze and you have to understand who in your life are not. I'm not going to say good for that. You have to understand people that when you think about a subject, think about the first person you think about, right? And usually that person is going to teach you. That person is going to be your role model, because your body has, and it's kind of crazy when you think about it. When you think about it, like, how can I say that? When you think about it, right? So your parents, even your parents, if you have a mom and dad, if you have two mom, if you have two dad, doesn't matter. You're gonna come to them for one thing, and you're gonna come to the other for another thing, because subconsciously speaking, you understand that, okay, well, this person is good for that. This person is nicer. This person is stricter. If I need better advice, I'm gonna go to the stricter person. Your body, your mind is gonna teach you. It's gonna tell you, hey, this person is good for that, or hey, don't go to this person for this kind of advice, because they're not gonna be able to help you. And it's not because you subconsciously know for that. You see, I just said, when you think about something, a subject, you think about a person, right? I have this friend, Celine. You guys know about her. You heard about her, and she's super spiritual. Whenever I think about spirituality, I think about her. Now, am I doing the active thought about her, or is it subconsciously speaking that I'm thinking, hey, I should ask it in? It's subconsciously speaking. Your subconscious is gonna do most of the work of analyzing people, and you have to understand who in your life is good for what. And there's gonna be friends that aren't good for you in any reason. They're not gonna be good for you. They're just gonna be fun to hang around, and you have to understand that those people are fun to hang around. I have this friend who I have Shao. Shao, I know, is just a good around person, and there's no specific subject. When I think about Shao, I don't think about a specific subject. He's my best friend. I don't think about a specific subject, but I think about him when I need to talk or when I need to have a good time. And it's funny because this is the purpose of him and it sucks because it feels like you're an asshole saying this person have a purpose in your life, but the reality is the truth. If you think about your parents, yes, you love them and they're your parents, but they have the purpose of teaching you the basic in your life. If you have a teacher that you really, really, really like, you have a teacher, right, and they're amazing, and they're teaching math, You prefer them as a person. You understand their purpose isn't necessarily being a teacher, but being a role model. Now, if you have the same teacher, it's better as teaching class, you're gonna think about them as useful when you have a question in math, and that is understandable. You have to understand that people are. You're gonna have to wonder what purpose do they have in my life? Should I keep them around? Should I stop them? Because by having multiple friends or a large group of friends, the people that really matters, you're gonna let them go. You're gonna not be as close to them, right? And what sucks about that is, hopefully, you have a purpose for them. You have a purpose in your life, because there's gonna be a ton of friendship. Trust me, you're gonna have a ton of friendship that are ending, and you're not sure why they're ending. You're not sure as to why. Hey, why aren't we friends again? Why haven't we talked in a while? And the truth is, you lived out your purpose. I had a lot of friends in high school. Okay, I had a lot of friends at school, at work, and those friends didn't keep in touch with me, although we were close at school, because the purpose what I had was to make them entertain at school or at work. Now that we don't have the word, we don't have the school, they moved on. This is a factor of life. You think about your the friend that you have for a while. You have memories with them, and you build those bonds. But the reality is, the friends that you had for a while are much less numerous than the people that you meet online. You're gonna meet somebody online and you feel like you know them. You feel like you know a lot about them. You're hearing them talk and you're seeing their videos. Like, oh, I truly know that person, but you don't truly know that person. You're not really close to them. There's a couple of people on here, a couple of people only, that I really, really, really care about on here, that I have a pleasure to talk with. And if it's not the case, then you have to understand that, okay, well, guess what? This is a content creator and this is something else. It's important to. All I'm trying to say is, it is important to understand the relationship that you have. Is it truly a friend or is that acquaintance? I made a mistake when I was younger. A lot of time, made a mistake to say everybody's my friend. Everybody is in my life for a good reason, and I wasn't even paying attention to who they were. I was just being positive and optimistic and saying they have this purpose of being my friend. And some of them were my friends. So what I did was I have trusted them to be a friend when they weren't friend material or they weren't interested in being my friend, and I got hurt. Now, getting hurt is part of life. You'll get back up, you'll learn something. But if you're constantly putting your trust or you're constantly putting friendship and people that you want to be friend with but they're not wanting to be your friend. See, I was talking about Celine. Celine has a bad habit, really bad habits of going into a relationship with people that she knows don't love her the way she does, but she goes into the relationship and the hope that they'll like her more at the time. And she does that because she needs to be loved. She has this affection need, which is quite normal. Then you understand that those people are going to be hurting you, and you're putting yourself in a situation where you're going to get hurt isn't necessarily healthy. And you're like, holy shit, dude, I'm putting myself in those situations where I get constantly hurt. What can I do to do that? Stop being with people that don't bring you joy. You see, a purpose or self-friend can only to be bring you joy, and if that person bring you joy, then that is a good purpose. And if they don't bring you joy, why be friend with them? You're gonna have friends in your life. Like, why do I care about what they think? Right? There's this very pessimistic thought about not caring about what people think about you, and being like, dude, I don't really care about your opinion. And I know that this is sad, I know this is bad, I know this sounds like very negative, but it's a fact. And I know I sound negative this morning, but I'm trying to prevent something. I'm trying to prevent you getting hurt. And this is the only purpose of this video. I was talking about charisma, and I mentioned that charisma was a way of getting cozy with people, getting cozy and a lot of situation, getting cozy and narratively speaking, relationship or friendship. And you're like, holy shit, I'm taking care of this. And you can see it as a preemptive strike, you can see it as a sword, but it's a shield. Because if you're able to understand what a people is in the beginning, if you understand a friend, okay, you had this friend for 5 years, then you realize that they're very shitty people. I lost 5 years. But if you were able to understand that that person was shitty in the beginning, you would have never been friend with them. Now, there's another problem with that. What if that person changed for the better? What if they become a good person thanks to you? By stopping being friends with them or not being friends with them for preemptive reason, are you stopping yourself from having this positive impact? And then you realize that whatever I'm saying, don't worry about this mukbang. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Just do you. I'm being careful because I was hurt in the past. It doesn't mean that you should be careful because you're gonna get hurt. Love, guys. Peace. Rups.